Hey everybody, Soybean Farmer. Wednesday, April the 27th. I messed up and forgot to dump my rain gauges, and I got home and looked at them and said an inch, and I said, no, that ain't right. There was some places where trees hang over the edge of the field that weren't wet. Inch of rain would have got them wet. But you can see a little water here on the tarp where I covered all this up. Didn't want what seeds still left in here to get wet. And those nice buckets right there kept those dry. Well, the game plan today is get out here and try to plant some more. That's the last of the seed. There's 9 bags there and a piece of bag, probably about a quarter of it left in there. And if the calculations are right, that'll finish planting up the year 2022 soybean crop here on the little farm. About that seed bed finisher. I had a grass mowing job up in Lewisburg, North Carolina, so I went up there every week to do it, and that put me going right past Lewisburg Tractor. And on a first name basis with the owner there, his name was James. I'd go in and say, what you got good here today? We'd chit chat a little bit, and I'd go on my way. Well, one morning I went by and I saw that seed bed finisher. Well, I knew what it was because all tobacco farmers use them to get the fields smoothed out before they use a bedder to bring the rows up. And I knew that was the only way I was going to solve my problem of fighting these ruts. So I'd already priced the new ones. So I knew the new ones back then were about $4,500 to $5,000, especially if they had any width to them like the one I ended up with. I walked in there and said, James, you got a Massey Ferguson seed bed finisher sitting out there. How much do you want for it? He said, I don't know, let me look in the consignment index box. He was selling it on consignment for somebody. He pulled a card out, his eyes got kind of big, and he said, well, that man may as well just told me to give that away. I said, what do you mean? He said he told me to get $1,200 for it. I said, James, who do I make the check out to? He said, Lewisburg Tractor. And for another $50, they throwed it up on the back of their flatbed truck and brought it down here to the little farm for me. I was so delighted to get my hands on that thing. And the timing was perfect because, it's like I hadn't started planting yet. It was early spring. Grass cutting season had just started down here. So I didn't really know how to run it. But there was a farmer who was very, very helpful. Jesse. I really miss him. He went away from here last year. Went to be with Jesus. I don't like to say died because as a believer in the Word of God, those of us who believe, we don't die. We just leave this planet and go to a better place. Okay, all that's working. So anyhow, I called Jesse up. I said, Jesse, I got me one of those seed bed finishers, but I don't know what I'm doing with it. I went out here and disced up about a half acre of land, and I'm trying to use it, and nothing's working right. Would you come give me a hand with it? He said, sure. He came over there, he looked at it, he said, oh, you got a nice one. Good and heavy. He said, it might be a little heavy for that 40-20. And yeah, he was the first one to tell me I needed some weight on the front of the tractor. But he got up there with me. He said, put it in 6th gear. Well, I'd been out there tooling around in 5th gear. I said, okay. And we took a run across the field. He said, all right, stop it. Put the tractor in park. Well, I didn't have the pitch set right on it. So he showed me how to adjust it. He said, turn it around, take off back across the field, 6th gear, get your engine RPM up close to about 18, somewhere between 18 and 2,000. He said, the faster you're moving, the better this thing works. I said, okay. Got it rolling. When I got to the other end of my little test spot and stopped and looked at it, it was beautiful. It was gorgeous. I was so happy. I had this tool that could do this wonderful thing. So anyhow, that's how I got it, and that's how I learned how to operate it. But anyhow, that's got the whole field planted with the exception of ingress down at the other end. So let's see here. We'll go down there. They look locked up. Okay, no they're not. Now they are. Let's see if we can get to the other end of the field without breaking anything. Let's take off up this bed strip right easy. Which will be about right here. Yeah. Alright. Let's go. Wrong gear. There we go. Hey, get back that way. Okay, and what that did was dressed out the end of the field for me. Alright, let's see if we can get this back to the